How do I get credit for yesterday? I attended this class twice, but I was late both times because I didn't see my class this time.
I
So,
think I put you in yesterday.
oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. No, I definitely put you in yesterday. Still Nathan is not here, so Caleb. Sergio is there. Tyler's gonna come, he's right there. Luke, let's see. Martin. Oh, sorry, yeah, my bad. Sorry. Esteban's here. All right. What's an ODP, Sam? What's the point? Why are there ODPs? Okay. What is the in-route structure? Do you know how far away from the departure airport the en-route structure starts? How far? What radius? So more than like 30 miles would be en-route structure. To legally be able to fly an ODP, Sam, what does a pilot need on them to legally be able to fly an ODP? Nice. Nice. Can ODPs be graphical as well? Of course they can. So we looked at this yesterday, Sam.
Yeah.
Right? What is this? A SID or an ODP? How do you know? Okay. Would I be able to load this into my avionics? I can or cannot. Okay, why don't you come up and show, I'm gonna try put it in. So if it's graphical, if it's published graphically, you will be able to put it in.
yeah.
And you show everyone how to load.
Where is this out of?
Truckee.
What runway?
What's, I don't know, whatever.
Thomas, system test okay.
What's that down? From what? Truckee? Tier K? What was it, JB?
Maybe not. Oh, it's tier kid.
Okay. Is it? Oh, it's TR.
It's the app might, no, it's never
It's
gonna,
truck.
if an airport is never gonna be truck.
Oh,
So it's
so
gonna be K something.
Oh, which one do you?
that's for the K.
Wait, what is this called?
Yeah,
I think this is,
No, that's tier K, KT. Yeah.
so this app is obviously out of date. So whenever there's amendments to a departure procedure, it would have started off as the truck one. They make an amendment this. So there's clearly been an amendment since, but it's the same thing. So obviously you would go ahead and we're doing the truck 4, I guess. All right, let's say we're on runway 2. Then what transitions does it offer?
Just one.
Right? Because if you look at the plate, everything leads to truck, right?
Yeah,
So then you would preview that. All right.
and then lower departure.
And then do those points match, or does that match the plate in front of you, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, you could even zoom in, you could see that hold as well, make sure that hold looks correct.
Oh, it loads the hold also.
Yeah. Nice, easy, right? Yeah, super easy.
And that's with our that's with our GPS, right? Our OBS.
No, GPS is doing that.
Okay,
Yeah, all the OBS function in our sling.
it just makes it a thing of DOR.
Basically, yeah. So like, you know, if I put torrents in there, and let's say I had torrents active,
Yeah.
I could go back into here, I could OBS torrents,
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
and then I could basically pull off any radial from torrents.
Yeah.
And it's so useful for when you're practicing holds because then you don't have to be holding over congested areas, you know?
It do like
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, you don't have to go to limbo anymore. You know, I could go 2 miles south of Point Berman if I wanted to. Yeah. Samuel, what is all this? Or the other Samuel, sorry.
Takeoff minimum,
Okay. What does that mean though?
pretty much entailing directions for safety clearances when takeoff.
Cool. So what is it? So it says standard with minimum climb. What does standard mean? No. So this would be something to do with the weather. Do you know what standard would mean in regards to weather? Right? So what is standard visibility for IFR departures?
oh, right.
Well, do you know where I would find it?
Part 61.
No, so part 61 is going to be part 61 is basically all of the ways you can get a rating. So it's going to be all like the requirements for a rating. Part 91 is where you find all the rules and the regs and stuff. Yeah, so 91 175. All right, once again, tab it if you haven't. You're going to be looking at this a lot. I want you to read this, Samuel, and tell me what the minimum visibilities are for IFR departure.
Paragraph life regular. Unless otherwise authorized by the FAA, takeoff makes the airport under IFR unless the time to take off or at or below or at or above weather minimums for the IFR takeoff prescribed for an airport part 97 of this chapter. If takeoff weather minimums are not prescribed under 97 of this chapter for a particular airport, the following weather minimums is applied to take off under IFR for aircraft other than helicopter with 2 engines or less, 1 statute mile visibility. And then for aircraft more than 2 engines, half mile statute mile visibility for.
Oh, wait, real quick, let me just check this. Okay. Cool. So what would your takeoff minimums be?
1 statute mile. Or not about part of those.
So what are your takeoff minimums? Visibility. Or what part are you operating under when you fly a sling? Do you see 91 here? So what are our takeoff minimums technically for flight?
Statute mile.
It's hard to believe, but technically, yeah. So then if we go back to the plate, what is the standard here reference then?
Should be 0.
If I was part 121, yeah. Okay, and then what's this?
5. Up to 11,500.
So what kind of climb gradient is this? How would I be able to, because if you read 415 per nautical mile, how are you going to do that in the plane?
Will be just less than 500 feet.
Or how could we maybe convert that into a feet per minute? Has anyone showed you the calculation? No? Caleb?
Taking ground.
Yeah.
I would just, or you just, or
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Let me pull up the jet for this on my iPad.
I feel like a jet chart's harder.
Well, it depends, because like, if I was to pull this up on the jet, no,
more of a ballpark.
it's just hard for me to like,
Because that doesn't take wind, right? You gotta turn it.
what do you mean? Oh, well, yeah, technically no,
Ground
right?
speed, right?
Yeah, technically no.
Yeah, we can
So
see
here,
that.
if I was to go truck 5, obstacle in the departure. Yeah. So yeah, Samuel, what we would do here is you would take your ground speed on departure. So obviously we could use an E6B and figure out the winds and get the true, but let's just say 65 knots ground speed if we're pitching for 72. You would do 65 divided by 60, and then you just multiply it by whatever climb gradient they want. So 65 divided by 60. Let's see. Sixty-five divided by 60 multiplied by 415. Yeah, like 450 feet per minute. So then what you would do, even do that in these conditions, we're finding out the temperature. We've got to go up to 11,500. So obviously if temperatures are non-standard, even slightly warmer, then, without me even doing calculations, considering our service ceiling is 12,000, we're probably not going to be able to maintain that up to 11,500. But we'll probably do these calculations a little further down the line. Do you know what this is, Caleb? This is very, very common on procedural plates, approach, departures. Do you know what this is?
That's your minimum safe. Waypoint.
No, this would be, well,
The airport itself.
yeah, so it tells you, right? Minimum safe altitude, it gives you here which waypoint this radius is based off of. This is TRK, which is the airport. 25 nautical mile radius. Right? Typically used for emergency situations. What about the VCOA? So this is sometimes offered too, Caleb, the KTOA. Why would a why would a VCOA be published?
Basically if you fly VFR, but you can't meet you can still see outside, but can't meet the performance. The minimum, you can move a code. Just finding until you get out of that.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Cool. Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at the Jefferson version of this, all right? I mean, it's displayed differently. You got your takeoff minimums here. It gives you a, rough recommended feet, climb rate, feet per minute, based on your ground speed. But obviously that's not taking into consideration the winds. I actually like this jet a lot. Yeah, minimum safe altitude is depicted there. Anytime we see a black arrow, that's always just pointing at the highest kind of point on the chart. Yeah, it's telling us if we climb in visual conditions, we're going to cross the airport heading 290 at or above 9,100.
Yesterday, plus they were saying that box line is actually like, I don't know, about most likely to see, it's just like some weird tower knows about it. Is that true? Or is that like,
No,
right?
no. Look,
So I was in the bedroom setting the box line part of they're like, I mean, it was untowered obviously, but like I said it, the baby was fine, it's like actual.
I mean, the box climb is very commonly known. If you ask anyone what a box climb is, they'll know. Maybe it's just, yeah, I don't know. That's weird. It's very common. Obviously, at towered airports, you got to request it, or you should request it.
Yeah.
All right. Just pull up a Jefferson arrival and someone brief it for us, just so everyone knows. Everyone's on the same page. Let's go to LAX. What is an arrival, Tyler? What's an arrival? And how's an arrival different to an approach?
Arrival, it's basically your exit off the freeway, so it's connecting your en route to your approach. So it's the difference between your en route, it gets you to your approach. So,
Pretty much.
yeah,
So it gets you from the what structure to the what structure.
the en route structure to your approach,
Yeah, or kind of into the terminal,
to the terminal.
to the terminal structure, and then from the terminal structure, you join that approach into the
Yep.
airport, basically. All right. Let's pull this up. You know, it's very simple. Can someone just give us a rundown?
Wait, which one is it?
This is the Derby 2 on Africa. Actually, let's switch it up a bit. Let's get a turbo prop this morning. Yeah, let's do the Kimo 3 arrival. The Kimo 3 arrival. And let's just say you're starting at the Echo Hotel Foxtrot VOR. All right, so not much textual here. It's graphically depicted. But we have everything we need. Let me... Yeah, we'll do the Kimo 3. And let's say we're starting from the Echo Hotel Foxtrot VOR. You know, I want you to just look at the depiction and just give us a rundown of what the airplane's going to be doing all the way down to the, you know, all the way down to darts, essentially. Do you want to do
Oh,
it?
yeah, sure. Oh,
Yeah.
you said, all right, so starting from, you said the Echo Hotel Foxtrot
Yeah.
VOR? Okay, so starting from the Echo Hotel Foxtrot VOR, we're following the 1230 radial from, and it looks like our MEA is 9,000, so we'll want to be at 9,000.
Nice.
Following,
It's failed. How can we identify Arvin?
you could identify our GPS node. So
Yeah, let's just say hypothetically.
we can still use our VOR.
Yeah.
So we just stay on the 123 radial from EHF.
Mm-hmm.
We could also cross radial to the like Gorman.
Nice. Which radial would you cross radial it with?
344 radial.
Nice.
Garmin.
Nice.
To confirm we're at Arvin.
Could I use DME to identify Arvin?
This small line means we could use DME, right? Or
Yeah.
But there, it doesn't have that box saying how far it is.
Well, it tells us how far it is somewhere. How far is Arvin from Echo Hotel Foxtrot?
Or it doesn't say it. Isn't it
So where did you find the MEA?
right underneath the box?
Okay.
So is it 7.6 nautical miles?
What are you seeing? No, that's just for that leg between Arvin to Amont.
Oh, you're saying the DME from EHF?
Yeah,
So yeah, we're 17 DME from
okay,
EHF.
cool.
And then we are 24.6 from Almont. DME. So then once we
Wait,
get
what's 24.6 DME away?
Almont
From where?
from EHF.
Nice.
Yeah. So we could use that all the way to Vermont if our GPS failed. And then we could fly Vermont on the 149 radial from Tool. So we could actually intercept the Tool VOR. And we could use that.
Right, so just hypothetically speaking, if we have nav one, nav two, nav one is 115.4, 123.
Yeah.
All right, nav two before Arvin would be 116.1, 344. Once we cross Arvin, all right, what would you then put in the nav two?
We could put in 116.25.
Okay,
And then we could follow that 149 radial down to Lopez.
okay.
And then after Lopez,
And then what would you do with your nav one?
still want to be at 9,000. Nav one, we could switch to Lake Hughes. And we could fly
Yeah,
to the 329 radial to Lake Hughes.
okay, so what course would you set?
It would be 149.
Nice.
We'll fly to the 149 Lake Hughes.
How far is my leg from Lopez to Lake Hughes?
21.8
Okay,
nautical miles. So we use our DME to Lake Hughes.
okay.
And then once we pass Lake Hughes, we'll follow the 139 radial from to all the way to Darts.
Well, what is it? Okay, so then that's when the textual starts coming in from Kimo,
Oh, Akimo.
right? So we would just descend via the plate down to Kimo or follow the procedure down to Kimo.
So we want to depart Darts heading 140.
Yeah, so then, sorry, so how do we get from Kimo to Dart? Sorry?
How do we get from Kimo to Darts? On the LHS 139 radial
Nice.
and the SLI 319 radial.
Would you be looking for a from or a to indication?
From which one? Like Hughes, we're gonna be 139 from,
Okay,
and then SLI will be. What was SLI?
Kind of long.
Oh, SLI will be on the 319. We'll fly to the 319 radial, so we'll be on the 139 radial 2 SLI
nice, yeah. Nice.
at Kimo. So once we're at Kimo, we'll use the 139 2 SLI, and that's how we'll depart Kimo.
Cool. What about darts? What's going to happen at darts?
At Darts, is that a mandatory hold? Departs heading. At Darts, it just says to expect radar vectors to final approach.
Okay.
Does that hold mean that it's mandatory hold? So once we get to
No.
Darts, no? Okay.
No, that would be, but tell me what kind of hold is this? What would technically be the holding instruction here?
That's left holds on.
Or how would ATC tell you? Let's say, I mean, they would obviously just say enter the hold as published at darts, but if you were maybe giving this hold as an instruction,
If you hold on the 139 radial left turns at Darts. Or hold on the 139 radial from Seal Beach at Darts.
so what's closer, the Seal Beach VOR or the Lake Hughes VOR to darts?
Oh. Oh, Lake Hughes.
Is it?
It's still SLI is. But it says SLI 319 on the holding pattern, so I'm assuming we're using SLI.
Nice. But
Yeah.
tell me which one's further though, Lake Hughes or SLI? And how far is Lake Hughes?
Lake Hughes is 16.9 plus 5.8. No?
No.
Oh, Lake Hughes is. Lake Hughes to darts.
Well, yeah, how far is Lake Hughes to darts and how far is SLI to darts? Maybe that will give it
24.8 nautical miles from SLI.
to darts. Nice.
Yeah. And then 18.2 from Lake Hughes.
No.
No? Is it 12.4 plus 5.8 plus 16.9?
Yeah. So, but it also tells you right there, DME 18.2. So I'll just do 18.2 plus the 16.9.
18.2 plus 16.
I don't know,
30
35.1, something like that. So Seal Beach is closer, right? So that makes sense.
Yeah, so we're holding on the uh reciprocal of 319 radial. So we'll hold on the 139 radial left turns from SLI.
Okay. So you're gonna hold north of darts on the Seal Beach, 319-degree radial left turns. What else though? How long is the leg gonna be?
It's gonna be 34.8 nautical miles on our outbound leg.
Oh, that's a very, very long leg. It's extremely long.
You're right. It's gonna be.
I'm basically flying across country, just doing a holding pattern.
um,
How long is that? How long is that leg length?
Technology.
a minute. 1 minute outbound.
1 minute?
Is it standard?
Does it say 1 minute?
It says.
Justice. You're right. All right, so hang on. So reverse back a bit. So you said we're holding on. We're using Seal Beach, right? To hold?
Mhm.
Okay. So tell me, how long are the leg lengths in this hold?
Standard? Or just,
No.
1 minute outbound?
No. And what do you see in the top right? What do you see in the top right of that hold right there?
So I see a D3
Okay.
34.8.
So what do you think that's? Why do you think that's there?
That's how long our leg is.
Okay. So that's the point, right, when you would start to turn inbound.
Yeah.
But what is 30? I mean, what are we doing a 35-mile leg? What is that? How long are these legs?
I mean, every 30. It's got to be something to do with the 34.8.
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right.
Just convert that to nautical miles somehow.
No. Well, how far is darts from Seal Beach?
Darts from Seal Beach is 24.8.
Okay. And when do they want you turning back inbound on the hold?
Oh, at 34. Okay, so it's 34. So it's 10 nautical miles.
Nice. Is that a standard holding
Yeah.
pattern?
No, it's not.
But what if you're going 400 knots?
We're going 400 miles. I think that used to be.
So if you're going 400 knots doing a hold, is that allowed?
No, I'm not.
No?
No,
Why?
because the speed limit is
Oh.
250.
250?
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, 200 because we're near Bravo.
Okay, well, what altitude are we going to be there at darts holding, and what would this holding speed limit be?
Maybe 87,000.
So what would the holding speed limit be at that altitude?
7,000. It's got to be 200 knots.
So 200 below 6,000. Above 6,000, but below 14,000 would be 230.
230.
Then above 14,000, airplanes are restricted to 265 when they're holding.
265.
Yeah, so at 7,000, you would be restricted at 230.
Yeah, because we're between 6,000 and 4,000.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. And then just run me through. So, yeah. So, north of Darts on the Seal Beach 319, left turns 10 nautical mile legs.
And it's not a mandatory one. That's one of the things how it's a
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm not even too bothered about when it says, like, the reality is you're in communication the whole time. If they want you to hold, they want you to hold.
Yeah.
Listen out. All right, well, what about your course and your heading? Well, how are you going to set up for this? I mean, what kind of entry would this be, first of all?
It's gonna be direct.
Okay,
Well, yeah, it's gonna be direct.
okay,
And then yeah, and then you go direct entry to enter. And then after that, we're gonna wait for vector to final approach.
cool. But then just what heading and course would you have selected in for the whole?
Our course would be 139, and then our heading would be 319.
But if ATC said hold north of Darts on this Seal Beach 319-degree radial, left turns 10 nautical mile legs.
319, you said?
Yeah, their instruction is hold north of Darts on the Seal Beach 319-degree radial, left turns 10 nautical mile legs.
So our heading would be 319 and our course would be 139.
Even though they said hold on the 319 radial?
Yeah, because if we're holding on 319 radial, it's flipped, and then we're gonna be turning left that way. So it's yeah.
Nice. All right. Put this hold in the 650 for me.
Oh, that from
Like, exactly as it is.
okay.
Exactly as it is. You might need this.
Yeah, to look at it. All right, so could we start at a VOR?
Why is that not loading? No, I want you to load the hold at Darts exactly as it is.
Load at darts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's darts. Boom. And then darts, hold at waypoint, course, angle, it's gonna be 319. That's gonna be our outbound. Left turns. Distance. 10 nautical miles. Preview. Boom.
Easy. Look at you. Damn.
And then after darts.
Damn.
Yeah, then we'll get vector.
Hey, while you're at it, why don't you load that whole arrival in?
Okay. So,
And then I want you to preview it and see if the hold is published in the when you load it.
okay. But so then I'll have to restart.
Sure.
Okay, so we're starting at
I'm gonna try and do it without any help. A number from Peru. What the hell is that? I get scam calls all the time. So annoying.
a lot of air with it. Justice, help me out.
Is that the
EHF? Yeah, that's the starting line.
is that the Trader Joe's thing?
I would never eat here, but I have no other option. I should have no other time.
You never what?
I would never eat in this environment,
Oh.
but I have no other option.
This
Alright.
is 223.
What are you doing here?
We're starting at EHF shaped.
But we're loading the arrival.
Go load the approach. The arrival.
So,
Oh, the approach.
Yeah,
what is the arrival associated with?
Demo 3? Oh no.
Or which airport?
Yeah. Go back.
Oh, it's LAX.
Right.
Cool, so it might be smart to start with LAX and then see what kind of arrivals they offer. Kilo LAX.
Oh.
All airports start with Kilo. LAX, 3 letters would just be the VOR.
Yep. Okay. So arrivals procedure.
No, so you didn't even have to do that. You could have just, I mean, just to show you, like, go back to the
Yeah.
flight plan. You could have just clicked on it there, and then load procedure.
Flow procedure.
Yeah.
Arrived. Then the Kimo 3. Ain't no way it's that easy.
Ain't no ways.
Runway.
Oh no, did we start from Kimmo when you started reading it?
No. Transition.
EHF.
EHF. Oh, I'll do it.
All right, cool. So now you would zoom in there. All right. Does that match your plate?
Does darts.
Do we have the hold loaded in at darts?
You don't.
Hmm.
So
So
click
then-
load arrival and then click on darts.
I believe you can do that, yeah.
Uh,
That's crazy.
Wait, is there an easier way?
no, that's the way.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, easy.
It was 319.
Look at you. Damn. I go for this app.
Okay.
You do that in the plane too, right? Like, are you that good with it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh. Hell yeah, yeah. You're holding on space checks, dude.
Ready.
So that's an arrival. Easy. Easy. Nice, dude. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Hey, we're lost.
Dude, I can tell. No, I'm being dead serious, dude. I see you putting in the effort, and it's paying off because you're starting to understand things. So, what are the transitions for? Sugar?
Making that transition from one specific.
Is this something you would include in the flight plan? Would you include the transition as you were filing this flight plan?
At least.
What is-
It definitely wouldn't be for it.
What is this, Justice? Okay. What is that though? What would I find in this whole section? And which publication is this pulled
The
from?
terms that you get, ODPs and pick up minimums that they have.
Right?
Yeah.
So something we'll talk about when we start looking at approach places. This black T is a symbol for non-standard takeoff minimums. What are the standard takeoff minimums in regards to weather and climb performance?
$35 feet. Departure and runway.
Dude, you are. Damn. All right. So hang on. Hang on. So standard minimums, including visibility and departure performance, I guess. You know, we already know visibility is 0. All right. So anytime we see a black T, this is non-standard takeoff minimum. So there's some kind of ODP, there's some kind of procedure they want you to follow. If we're in the middle of the, Iowa with fields, nothing, then, the departure procedure might just be like on departure, turn right. But then you're never going to see like climb gradients to me. And you're never going to see anything like that because they just assume you're just going to abide by at least the standard. And then, yeah, the standard in terms of climb performance would just be a minimum of 200 feet per nautical mile. It would require you to cross the departure end of runway 35 feet AGL. And it would require you to not make any turns below 400 AGL. So that's the standard. All right, if we're in the middle of the fields, no obstacles, that's all it is. It's easy. You can depart with no visibility. There's no obstacles to worry about. So just take off, You know, even if you're barely climbing, it's not a big deal. What are you gonna do? Hit the cornfield? Nothing. But the reality is that most airports are in some kind of civilization, and there's things around, there's objects, there's buildings. So in reality, most of the departures are gonna be non-standard. We're gonna have some kind of procedure to follow, some kind of climb performance to meet, and then this is where you would find it.
Where would you see it?
So,
Gonna ask, where would you see the T depicted, but you'll see the departure?
yeah, and it's also on approach plates as well. All right, someone just came and asked me before, but someone refresh us because everyone forgets this. Sergio? Do you know what this is saying? Yeah, I mean, just this whole line here, because I see an or. And anytime there's an or, that they're not in conjunction. There's kind of two separate pieces of information being kind of like depicted here.
400. Or you need to move extra.
Well, it's standard with the minimum climb. So the standard and the climb rate are two separate things as well.
Which one would you choose? I guess like depends on your.
Well, no, it doesn't. It's not in regards to what you choose. There's a reason why it says or standard. All right, so this minimum climb rate, this climb gradient is associated with standard. And this, as you can see, with this weather here, there's no kind of climb gradient that they want you to meet. Right? So what is this telling me?
Exact line might be supporting stand.
Which is why this is in the non-standard takeoff minimum section. But there's also an or, right? So these two things are separate.
Stay those.
Well, as soon as we get a climb gradient, all right, the only thing that's still in effect from there is just the turn. All right, if we're pitching up climbing more, then we're probably going to be, our altitude above the departure and the runway is going to change, or our feet per nautical mile is going to change. So the only thing that stays constant is the first turn, unless otherwise depicted. But
Probably something 200 feet or lower within the mile. You can see it if you have ceilings that are high enough. Otherwise, you have to climb more aggressively. Can't see it.
exactly. So if the weather was a little better, 400-2, say minimum, then technically what kind of climb performance do I need to meet? Yeah. Right. All right. Or if I want to depart with shitty 0-0 weather, which is legal, they're giving us a non-standard climb of 325 feet per nautical mile. All right, if this was in the middle of a cornfield with nothing around, they wouldn't have any of that. Does that kind of make sense? Sugar?
Is this one also saying that you can't make that first turn until we?
No, not necessarily. It's just saying we need to meet that climb performance up to 600. But the reality is, you're not turning here anyway because it says runway heading and then climb to 3000 runway heading, intercept LAX 170. So it's not like you're going to be turning anyway. This is the one, if we departed 1-1 left, that's when I would start the turn at, that's when I wouldn't turn to 290 until at least 400. But for this one, we're just climbing runway heading. Up to 3,000, intercepting the LX 170. So it's not like we're turning anywhere. And then, yeah, we always looked at this, but obviously there's going to be different climb gradients for different runways when there's multiple runways at an airport, because, the reality is that the terrain around an airport is never going to be consistent. So,
Are you gonna know what runway you're gonna take before? Okay,
hmm
yeah.
how would you know what runway you're going to
Cause
take?
you would file for that one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but you'd also,
Is.
Oh, no, we pick up, yes, they say which runways are used.
but the reality is too, if you pull up to the FBO 2 hours before you're taking the private jet, you're briefing with the weather, you're briefing, you can even see what runways they're using, so. What is this telling me, Tyler?
Trees beginning 299 feet from departure and the runway, 530 reflex center line up to 66 feet, 465.
I can't remember what that is. Oh yeah, probably, yeah. All right, something else is super cool. I'll go back to the iPad for this, but something else that is really cool about just flying in terminal areas. All right, so at or below 10,000, kind of extending from San Diego to Santa Barbara, below 10,000, this is all like one big terminal area essentially. And all of these airports here, all right, all of these airports very commonly flown to. And as a result, because there's a lot of people, a lot of people flying, a lot of people doing instrument flying, especially at these airports, the FAA has basically decided, okay, well, we've got a bunch of different people flying, similar routes in these congested areas. Why don't we just make it easier and just create these like pre-published routes? All right. So instead of you having to plan every single point, we can just create these published routes, give them a name, and then you can just request that name with a tower, and all of a sudden the entire flight plan's in. So this would be in the chart supplement. What, is it the chart? Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, but obviously ForeFlight is the way easier way now to find them. But in the chart supplement, obviously different aircraft classifications as well. It's going to tell you if it's recommended for piston or recommended for jets or recommended for everyone. But conventionally, like typically old school way, we'll go into the chart supplement and these are the names of the tech routes. So if I today wanted to fly from, I don't know, San Bernardino, SBD, and I wanted to go to LAX, all right, SBD to LAX, I would choose the ONTP4 tech route. ONTP4 tech route. If I was going from French Valley F70 to Santa Monica, I would request the ONTP7. And the ONTP7 is just going to be a pre-published route from that, the area around San Bernardino to Santa Monica. Something like that.
But LAX.
Don't know what that is. No idea. I mean, you got any ideas? No idea what that could be. And then here would be the route as well, So if we went from like Chino to Burbank, then it would take me via Paradise, Victor 186, Van Nuys. But then, ForeFlight makes this all a lot easier. So let's use, I don't know, let's use San Bernardino to Santa Monica again. I'll go into my ForeFlight, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to pick up a tech route or to pick a preferred route. So I wake up in the morning, I know that today I'm going from San Bernardino to Santa Monica, and I want to figure out a route. Probably should do that the day before, but first thing I'm going to do is we're just going to go to the flight plan section here. let's just put our departure and arrival airport. We're gonna go from San Bernardino, KSBD, and we're going to Santa Monica, KSMO. Cool, so obviously draws a straight line, but this is IFR. We can't just be flying direct to anywhere. So we're gonna notice here on the top right is routes is gonna pop up on the top right. And like I said, we're in a busy area. We're not the first people to fly. People have done these, people have flown between these airports before. So as a result, all right, we've got these published routes that many people fly. We'll go to routes, and it's a route advisor. It gives me a recommended right off the bat. Oh, and would you look at that? The recommended is the ONTP7, the one that I just found in the chart supplement. It gives me an ATC cleared. So tech routes, ATC cleared, very similar. ATC cleared is the best though, because if a route is ATC cleared, that means that ATC has cleared this route multiple times. It works with the airspace, it works with all the arrivals, and if you plan for it, the chances are you're going to get the exact same route that you filed. So when you copy your clearance, they're just going to say blah, blah, blah as filed. All right, I've had it before where I tried to create my own route to Big Bear, and when I filed it like that, and I got my clearance back, they read back a preferred route. They didn't even give me that route. And then I had to literally write every single bit again, just like we've been doing in ground sometimes. So long story short, make your life a lot easier. It's designed to make your life a lot easier. All right. ATC cleared. This works. ATC's cleared it many times. It works for everyone. Guarantee they'll give it to us. And it happens to be the tech route too. So, I'm going to click on that. And it even tells me here, it's been cleared 108 times total. And it's recommended for turboprop, piston, and jet between these altitudes. So that works for me. I'm going to select that route and look at that. Everything has been loaded in for me. Everything. Yeah. Starts. So that's how easy it is. Obviously, we'll pick up a route. I already love the look of that route. Gets me where I'm going. I know ATC is going to give it to me. Now it's just a matter of obviously getting my 91103, briefing everything, filing this, and then, because I've already got this on my iPad, now when it's time to copy my clearance down, I've got everything right here. It's pretty damn cool. And then you would just do what you did, in the 650. Yeah, load airway, KSBD, PDZ, load airway from PDZ, Victor, blah, 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 to darts.
Would it have the ONTP7 on that guard?
No, that's a good question, but no.
So what would you plug in your PDZ to darts and to KSMO?
Yeah, see that the 650 won't, but I believe this does. Like if I put ONTP7 in. Yeah. So like I said, the tech routes, because there's so many different airports, 3 airports could use the same tech route.
Yeah.
So look, if I just put ONTP7, then this is kind of the route here, right? So, anyone, San Bernardino, Riverside, these guys are all going to kind of go to Paradise and join this tech route. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, super, super cool. Makes flight planning a lot easier. Just know if you are choosing ATC cleared routes, then you're pretty much going to get them every time. And then you're not having to write different waypoints than you've ever seen, etc., etc.
Then basically you would look at your sectional to see what airspace you're gonna be in. And we already need to get in contact with you. No, because they tell you basically.
Oh, you're looking at the VFR sectional?
Yeah, because when we fly through class like this Charlie, are we gonna have to be on the tower with that? No?
Oh no.
No?
Oh no. That's what I love about instrument flying. We'll depart San Bernardino. I mean, look at the chart, dude. Do you see any of the airspace on there?
No.
Doesn't matter. We don't care about airspace.
Oh, because when it's IFR, you don't do that.
Don't care about airspace. Even if you're VFR.
Yeah.
If you're VFR with a transponder code speaking to ATC, you are clear through Charlie airspace, unless they say otherwise. But no, dude, you're departing San Bernardino. San Bernardino Tower, A610 Lima, holding short runway 6. Or holding short runway 24 for straight out. Or awaiting IFR, sorry. That's what you should say. Blah, blah, clear for takeoff. A610 Lima, contact SoCal departure on 134.0. Good day. SoCal departure. A610 Lima's runway heading direct paradise. 800 climbing 3000. A610 Lima, roger. Climb maintain 5000. And then you're on with SoCal the whole time. They hand you off frequencies, handing off frequencies. Over here, we might say A610 Lima, the RNAV approach is in use at Santa Monica. Advise when you have the weather. We'll pick up the weather. We say A610 Lima has information X-ray at Santa Monica. All right, 10 Lima, copy, thanks. Turn left heading 280, descend maintain 3000. A610 Lima, turn left heading 240. Intercept the localizer, you are clear for the approach. A610 Lima, 5 miles from blah, blah, blah. You're clear for the approach, contact Santa Monica Tower on blah, blah, blah. Santa Monica Tower, A610 Lima is inbound on the ILS 10. I don't know.
So we're not gonna be in contact with LAX.
Hell no. Hell no. We're in contact with Tower, or technically clearance delivery, ground, Tower, SoCal, Tower,
SoCal.
ground. Yeah. You know, this is just depicted here. You know, not even Bravo airspace technically matters. It's not like you need to request a Bravo clearance, but this is just put there to kind of tell you that this airspace is very controlled, you know?
Yeah.
For speed limit restrictions too, which I can't remember exactly the speed limits around like Bravo airspace, but just for like advisory basically. All right, let's take a couple minute break. I'm just gonna chow this down real quick and then let's just talk about some weather. I'm just gonna pick and choose from some of these slides. Dude, you seem so much more proficient. That's crazy.
I mean, I'm getting here, yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's up? So I'm eating, just get away from me. Do you want a pint?
This cat A and B for someone who knows.
The category. Have you not seen that before? The approach speed categories?
Oh, okay. I think we went over that yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, so long story short,
That's just that we were talking about like the 200, 230.
no, that's holding speed limits. For the categories, anytime you see like an approach plate,
Oh, if we're like far on the far left side or the far right side.
A,
of it.
B, C, D, and this
Yeah.
is all just based on like approach speed.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna be 1.3 times your stall speed in a dirty configuration. And that would be a VREF approach speed. So in the sling, technically it's like 56, 58, but you know, we're never gonna do approaches at 60 knots. 'Cause it
Yeah.
just blocks everyone out.
Get you here.
So that's just referring to like
Okay.
speeds, basically.
Gotcha.
So we are category A. B would be 90 to 120, C would be 120 to 140, and then D would be 141 plus.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
What you just said about all the frequencies and stuff. You said that ATC said Santa Monica said RNAV in use. Is that the same sort of situation where Torrance's ATIS says 29er in use? So Santa Monica may have a localizer and an RNAV and a VOR, but for this hour and at this day, they're only using
No, I mean what they do typically is they will use one approach just for flow, you know, just so ATC can clear people to the same point. But the reality is if you know, let's say the RNAV was in use, but on the plane we just had some faulty GPS receiver, our GPS was acting up. You can just tell them we'd like to put an approach request in. And you could put in an approach request. If it's to the same runway, usually they'll give it to you every time. But like, you know, I went to Santa Barbara 3 days ago and we come from the east, you know, we were coming, I can show you here, but you know, we were coming from the east. We were on an IFR flight plan. We were coming from here. They said the ILS 7 was in use, which is this. And we're coming from here. And they have a VOR approach for runway 25, which would have meant that it would have been easier for us. I could have just joined it onto here, save time, and we go in. I put an approach request in. I requested the VOR 25. They said that's fine, but you're gonna have to wait. It's gonna be a wait. So then I'm like, okay, well, you know, we're just training. We'll go with the 7. But you know, you can always put an approach request in. If they can make it work, they'll make it work. If
Yeah.
not, then
It's kind of like that situation with the ATIS. They're just trying to streamline things for traffic.
yeah.
But if
because-
they have multiple capabilities, you can still request it.
Yeah,
Okay.
because if they have 4 Southwest coming in, they can get this Southwest to go to darts, him to go to darts, him to go to darts, him to go to darts. But if they're doing different approaches every time, then, you know. Yeah,
So theoretically, you're flying an airline. And for the heck of it, you want to fly one different, but you think you can request it.
yeah. Have you not heard them say that? Have you never heard it? Not really?
An airline that requests a different.
Yeah.
Uh,
But like, you gotta have some common sense too, you know, like. If they're, like, let's say you're at Chicago Midway. And they're using all the 3 runways that go this way, but then I wanna request this, like, obviously they're not gonna give you that.
Yeah.
But if I request like the ILS compared to the RNAV 429 right,
same run.
same runway. Only reason they wouldn't give me it is if the localizer happens to be out. Excuse me.
My filter's multi-dome.
So good, bro.
I know.
I got really lucky with this maintenance and
Oh, yeah.
I was driving back from work one day, Jamie called me, she was like, how would you like to do multi next week? Check ride on Friday, and I was like,
So
right,
that a
what?
week?
That's 1 week, literally 1 week, and I fucking thought about it, bro. And I was about to say no, but then I was like, dude, the amount of times I've told like Derek to
Yeah.
fucking just take a check ride,
Yeah.
I was like, I can't say no. I was like, yeah, didn't work, just fucking grinded, yeah. It's like crosswind. Yeah. Crosswind every day, weather, I didn't even fly on Wednesday and Thursday. So I was a little stressed about that, but yeah, got some good flights in on Friday and then Martin on Saturday. Got so good, dude. I was nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I mean, dude, if you essentially learn how to fly it before you even get in, then you'll go quickly.
You take all your flows, you
Yeah, I made sure I knew all the flows, like before I even got in.
like the constant speed prop and all that stuff.
Which makes complete sense, but like, you know, it's tricky at first.
I have to watch the videos to like understand.
Speak to the devil.
You're doing all the commercial maneuvers.
No, we're doing like steep turn stalls, accelerator stalls, but a bunch of it is like single engine operations.
Yeah.
So one of them is like me demonstrating flying with one engine. The second one is he's like, oh, look at that traffic over there. He shuts off my ignitions for one of my engine. My
Wait, for the
engine.
first one, you said you're demonstrating flying with one engine. He doesn't shut it off for that one.
No, so we have like 2 throttles like this.
Yeah.
I would basically just pull the left one back and have the full right one full forward. And then, you know, then eventually, you know, approximately back slightly, throttle back. You know, we're cruising and he'd be like, he's trying to distract me, like, look at that traffic, and then he shuts off both the ignitions, so my engine just cuts out. And then basically have like a flow, you've got to basically just first of all fly the plane.
Yeah.
And then you have to like, you know, all these go forward, then you've got to like identify which, yeah, so left, you know, left leg, dead leg, so I'll go to the left throttle, I'll pull that back. And then you like fully feather it, and then dude, you're literally flying up there with, you know, one prop, right one's just feathered, stage, like stopped. Pretty trippy, but. And I have to do like a single engine ILS, single engine traffic pattern.
And that's all with it off.
Yeah, well, no, that's when we're low like that, we just simulate it, yeah.
So you just have to throttle idle. For that end.
Yeah. And then,
Your performance landings and stuff.
short field landing as well, yeah, no short field, but that's not.
Here, the gear on the tech was kind of like sensitive.
The gear,
Yeah, so like if you're doing a short field. You know,
it's more sensitive if you're doing like crosswind landings,
oh, yeah.
and bro. I'll be honest. In the sling, I never really understood crosswind like taxi corrections. Because we just don't feel it. You go in the Technum,
The highway.
yeah. It's got really long wings as well. Dude, I've never seen like the effects of like how important it is until I flew that plane. Like I was like touching down Alpha and like Whitney's next to me. There was a helicopter just like hovering. All of a sudden Whitney like she like lifted up, like wings started like coming up slightly.
And run into it and dive away from it.
Yeah.
Did you see the digital version of this? Like,
Oh, there's a digital version?
yeah, it's pretty cool. I think.
What?
The farm.
Apparently there's like apparently these guys, they have an app. On that.
Can't go wrong with paper though.
Always get the paper.
Can't go wrong.
Don't do that. Don't buy pre-made tabs.
No, I put them in.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. They're the, like, I bought the tab, but then,
Yeah.
like, I put it in vision.
Can I get them from the shop over there or should it be?
No, that's not.
Yeah, it's still premium. They're like, they're gonna think I bought it.
But you're getting to the point where you almost have too many tabs. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, if you tab every page, then what's the point of
no,
having
I have
tabs?
no ideas what these say. But I got like the ones that I know, I'm fine with. Like, I have no idea. These don't work.
Without looking, what's 91, 185?
185, 35 action.
No, that's
185.
103.
185. 185 is, oh, 91, 185. Is that IFR takeoff?
No, that's not. It's not so
185. Is it fuel? Is that the fuel one? Oh my.
What's 91? What's 91, 169?
I don't know that one.
What's 91, 222?
222. Gosh,
91, 222?
it's not.
Dude, that's like the most important one.
I got locked in on my.
Yeah, that's not a real one. That's a fake one.
Oh,
That's a fake one.
9175 is equipment, IFR operation.
Yeah, but what's 91, 185?
91,185.
Trying to think what that one was. We went over that one. Oh, is that Lost Con?
Nice. Nice. What's 91, 169?
Not real.
Oh, that was actually. Are you gonna say the DP then?
Not really.
What's 169?
Flight plan. Flight plan.
Yo, 91, 162. What is this?
I don't think
You don't even have right tabs. You don't have this stuff tabbed.
What do you mean?
Like those stickers, right?
Well, yeah, you should have one tab for 167, one tab for 169, one tab for 171. This
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Oh, this is the private one?
Yeah, these are the private ones.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no, I didn't even,
Like,
yeah, no, don't even listen to those.
I mean, I love that you got them tabbed though, and honestly, you've been locked in recently, so we'll do whatever you need to do. Do whatever you need to do.
need to not need to tab this out better. You said we're gonna have a day where we tab it out, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And do like the we're just I mean on my Shepherds, I'm working on my regs right now. So those should be better soon. Should be better soon.
Do you guys recommend like specific tabs or just like? Give like a
Yeah,
upper end?
I mean, I think what we should do.
Anybody?
Mm,
Sounds good.
That's no good.
Yeah.
Marvelous VOR is 91.183.
Yeah, so one day I kind of want to have everyone bring in their far aims. We go through everything.
Friday. Friday.
Like I have my far aim,
Yeah.
but it's in my car and my car's in the shop, so like I don't have it right now.
It's getting
And it definitely does not have that many tabs.
I don't even like these.
I don't like them.
Yeah.
To me, all I see is you didn't put the effort into actually go and manually tab them out. Like to me, it seems like you just put them there because you've read something, you just tab them without it, just
Yeah.
sped through it and tabbed.
That's what it was.
And there's no meaning behind them, you know?
Yeah.
What's 61, 65?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's instrument rating requirements. So that's super important to know.
Yeah, the next thing should be just memorizing all my foreign.
Because the reality is, like, you don't need to know everything.
Yeah.
But if you can efficiently navigate to the answer. Okay, let me actually show you this too. If you're ever wondering which sources you can legally use in a check ride, here's the list.
Oh.
I mean, at the back of the ACS.
Oh, see, I thought it was just open. I thought you could just do anything.
I mean, dude, technically, you know, if he's not looking. But this is all the stuff that hypothetically, you know, you could technically use any of this on a check ride. As long as you know what, you know, as long as you're not opening up a 1,000-page book and spending 20 minutes to find it, like.
I mean, but technically, there's no time. So,
Dude, they're gonna fail you.
My DP actually.
Really, no, I mean, a lot of them do, honestly.
Yeah,
It's just like,
I mean, he wanted me, he had to put in that, like, well, think about it. Yeah. I still know. Why would you find? Say it. Okay, good.
yeah,
I found it, thank God, I found it.
yeah. I mean, that's the reality, though. A lot of them are nice, and they kind of just what they'll do is they'll be like, "I'm gonna go use the restroom, and I'll be back in 5 minutes." Okay, and find the answer. You know, they're basically hinting that you can just do whatever the fuck you want. But really, how's your check?
I think you turned the Wi-Fi off though.
You
left my Wi-Fi. Oh.
That's funny. How are you with weather?
Pretty solid, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since. Went back.
So there's a bunch of like boring weather slides. I'm gonna kind of just pick the good stuff. Yeah, these are kind of the characteristics of stable and unstable air. All right. Obviously, unstable air, you know, we've got some kind of uplifting force, you know, turbulence, obviously. Typically, the visibility is going to be good. That's why, you know, a lot of people say clouds are the signposts in the sky because, you know, if I pull up to, you know, to work or if I come to work and, you know, maybe the day before was very cloudy, I now all of a sudden I look up and it's blue sky everywhere, then instantly to me, I know there's unstable air. And that's kind of scary, especially when you're in a sling too. You know, unstable air, you know, if we have sufficient moisture and uplifting force, you know, that's when, you know, cumulonimbus clouds can start forming. You know, kind of the uplifting, we get like the developing, and then we get that big anvil top with the mature stage, you know, it can extend tens of thousands of feet. But then stable air, you know, it might not be too pleasant visually. Obviously, visibility would decrease. You probably get more kind of just smoggy, gross air, but turbulence wise, it would be smooth. So obviously everything is essentially a constant change of just temperatures and pressures. Pressures, if we're looking at a prog chart, low pressure systems are going to be depicted with a big red L. All right, indicating an area with lower air pressure than the surrounding regions. All right, and we know that pressures tendencies move from high to low. So, a lot of the time in low pressure areas, I can almost imagine them kind of sucking everything in. And yeah, lower density than the surrounding regions, which is why it would typically move kind of upwards. Dude, who is blowing up my phone? Fuck.
Settings.
Do you know what I can do about this?
Yeah, you said it, so your unknown numbers go straight to voicemail.
Because
See that?
I'm not even joking.
So go to settings.
I'm just constantly getting just
Go to
ripped.
settings and phone.
look at that.
What if it's an emergency?
If they call you twice, it'll still come through.
So what settings?
Settings,
Oh,
phone,
Settings.
and then in here, there's a thing called silence unknown callers. The problem is when your doctor calls you.
Yeah, I know.
But then after that, I just add them to my contacts, so I have like,
But then how would you know it was a doctor though, or your doctor?
they'll live in voicemail.
Oh,
Someone, yeah,
Why are you getting so many
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's been like every day for the past like months.
Apparently, if you answer one of them, they like mark you as
Look,
that's
Someone told me that. Someone told me if I pick it up and say yes, then they take my voice saying yes and like use it to buy things. I don't even know. Huh? Different every time. Every single time, different. Milan, Tennessee, Peru. Freaking spam risk galore. Damn.
did you mark your pilot information as private? Or is that published?
No, I didn't use my social security number.
Now, you have an option to obfuscate your personal information, like
Oh God.
all your licenses.
Oh God.
I thought you were required.
You like what the accuracy. Are you a homeowner?
No. In California, dude? Hell no. Oh really? Yeah, I'm far away from being a homeowner. Tell you that much.
Do credit protection, like identity protection. You're probably on some list on the.
I'm on something.
I mean, we all are.
Yeah, it's pretty I don't know, it's ridiculous. It's every day, all the time. And then if like somehow when I cancel it, they still manage to call back and leave a voicemail, and then it's like I don't even know. But yeah, I like to kind of think of these low pressure systems as typically like sucking everything kind of in. So that's why, usually it's undesirable weather. High winds, storms, hurricanes,
bottle cap. Like when you unscrew your bottle cap, it's low pressure, it's getting like less, it goes up, and then high pressure.
Is that what you,
That's how I think about it. Though.
is that what
Because it
you're
goes
instructed?
clockwise.
Well, you're instructed. Whoa.
Yeah. Isn't that like a unlike a water bottle? Like,
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, because even the rotation of turn is
Yeah.
correct too. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, just like here, high pressure, obviously a higher pressure is gonna typically sink. And yeah, a high pressure system pushes air away from it into regions with lower air density. The air above these systems sinks towards the center and the winds push outwards. Typically desirable weather, clearer skies, but when I see clearer skies, I assume, turbulence. bit more turbulence. Cool. That's, how they move. Coriolis pause, I can't like describe it for the life of me, but let's watch this video. Do you mind flicking the lights? Sugar, thanks.
They got super deep at the end.
Is multiverse gonna be on?
It does
check
fascinate. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, so that's usually the first thing they start with.
Oh, really?
You know, what, how do you,
The possible.
What
kind of parts, so.
Yeah, so what,
The street university.
yeah, so what requirements are needed to get an instrument rating? And what is the multiverse? No. All right. Little quiz here. All right, so standard temperature, right? Standard lapse rate is 2 degrees per Celsius up to 1,000. Yep. What does that tell me, JP?
Shows you speed.
Yeah, what is the wind speed depicted?
It is greater than-
Well, so you're telling me here it's greater than 100 miles per hour, but here it's only at 7 knots.
Tell me it's calm.
Nice. So is this temperature standard?
6,000 feet.
Yeah. What would standard temperature at 6,000 feet be?
Celsius.
Yeah, so there's a couple questions on the written. They give you like a wind aloft, and it, I guess that it has, and it says, oh, at blah, blah, over, what is the difference between standard temperature and the reported temperature? Was this tell me just this?
It's no way.
What would be like the correct term for dB? Light and variable.
I think they're-
What is the 56?
You tell me. Are you asking him?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you tell me. What do you think it means?
That's what I was asking you.
Well, okay, well, what does this tell me, Tyler?
2 seconds are at 6 knots.
16 degrees Celsius, or
Oh, -6.
okay. So then what do you think this is?
-58 degrees Celsius.
Okay. Above what altitude are temperatures assumed to be negative?
12,000. What temperature are they negative?
At what altitude are temperatures guaranteed to be negative?
18.
AKA, I believe they've never ever recorded a positive temp.
Oh, always 24,000?
Yeah. 24th K. All right. Yeah, I mean, pressure systems, right? Wind is purely just a result of changes in pressure. Obviously in mountainous areas, this is pretty scary. Like I said, the other day, I had the scariest turbulence of my life, and I'm not even joking. We were doing the ILS runway 7 into Santa Barbara, which I don't even know why the hell we did it. I put in a request for the VOR 25 because we were coming from the east. I put in a request. Ada said that the ILS 7's in use. I knew I didn't want to have to fly all the way back around just to do the approach. So I requested this. They told me I'd have to wait a while if I wanted to do it. So I was like, oh, screw it. Let's just do the ILS 7. They start vectoring me all the way around here. And at this point, I'm like, what am I doing in my life? I'm at 3,000 feet, way out over the ocean. This is a practice. Like, we're on an IFR flight plan, but like, we're just doing this for training. And at this point, I was like, this is the most unnecessarily dangerous thing I've ever, like, this is ridiculous. They vector us all the way out to freaking Haybutt. All right, and as you can see, there's a bunch of terrain here. And the winds were coming from the north. So what was essentially happening was they were hitting the front side of these mountains, and because we were on the leeward side, all of that air was basically getting all just disturbed and tumbling down. And it wasn't until I'm lined up on the localizer here at Habot. I was probably, yeah, I was it was right after Habbo, right here on the way to Goyed. As I'm lining up in the localizer, tower says 2 Embraers reported low level wind shear, plus or minus 15 knots. And then 20 seconds later, at like 2,000 feet, leeward side of these mountains, we were getting rocked to the point where I had to like discontinue the approach. And I don't think I've ever done that in my life. I lost control of the airplane. My student hit his head on the canopy. Like, it was scary. And that's why, it's really important to understand if you are on the leeward side of the mountain or not, because that's typically where the turbulence is going to be most kind of brutal.
That's where I was practicing my ski. If
Well, it depends on the time of year. Obviously,
Yeah.
most of the time it's nice, but dude, our flight was smooth the entire way. Started noticing white caps on the ocean around Santa Barbara, but it was still smooth where we were. As soon as we started descending below like the mountain line, and it actually made sense because
everyone always takes the runway seven.
as soon as I got below 3,000 is when we really started feeling it. And these mountains are like 4,000-ish, so
Yeah.
it made sense, honestly. Dude, it was like I said, like as I was flying, I was like, I'm scared. I literally said I was scared.
The ILS sevens are normally easy, right? Just follow the freeway basically.
Well, yeah, no, but he vectored us out over the ocean
Oh,
because
yeah.
we were on an IFR flight plan. So, dude, it was just so dumb. Like I was over the ocean, nowhere to glide, getting rocked. It was so bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I was.
Oh, really? Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't on. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I think it was Tuesday. Let me see.
Wait, so what'd you do when you did miss the
Well, that's when I was most scared because he told me then climb runway heading 3,000. I'm at 1,800 feet getting absolutely rocked. I'm like, what? You want me to pitch the nose up right now? I was scared, dude. But yeah, wind shear, so obviously wind shear is just a very, very rapid, constant change of wind velocity and direction. It's very dangerous. Low level wind shear obviously is wind shear that, happens at low altitudes. As part of a PIREP, if you were to give a PIREP for wind shear, they would typically ask you, what kind of airspeed changes did you see? These Embraers report plus or minus 15 knots, and that's an Embraer. I'm in a Sling 2. His freaking fuel burn for the past hour was the weight of my plane. So yeah, wind shear is obviously, and it's hard to correct for wind shear. I mean, it's constant change of velocity, direction. It's not like you can put in a crosswind correction and, it's really tough. Obviously, microbursts are another phenomenon, typically coming out of thunderstorms. And this video is like an aircraft disaster one. We can watch it real quick. But, microbursts are a phenomenon. It doesn't happen too occasionally, but, they can essentially create downdrafts of up to 6,000 feet per minute. They typically last about 5 to 15 minutes. And, but like I said, are associated with kind of like cumulonimbus / embedded thunderstorms. Anytime you got a thunderstorm, cumulonimbus, don't go near it because hail can shoot out up to 20 miles. So obviously don't go anywhere near. But if you did happen to unfortunately get into some kind of embedded thunderstorm, which is just a thunderstorm embedded in just more harmless looking clouds, so it's kind of more susceptible to fly into it, this is what would happen. Same terrified. Feels good. Oh shit, sorry. And the way it moves is almost like, you know, if you had your kitchen sink and you were to open the tap really quickly, that's how it kind of, sorry. Not necessary, but
Yeah.
whereas, yeah, you get the point. I don't, you know, so,
Who picked these videos?
I don't know, they're terrible. This is on the written test, though. This is one of the figures. And the question that I got on my written, I believe, was which airplane would experience the best performance? Yeah. Which airplane would experience the strongest downdraft? You know, like this is the type of questions, you know. Which airplane would experience the worst performance, JP? Would it be number 4?
3 or 4,
Yeah,
both have your bad day.
yeah.
I mean, maybe 4 is correcting, so maybe it's 3.
Yeah, might be.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I do believe that is one of the questions. And then it's one of those things where you could argue for a few of them. He's experiencing extremely strong downdraft, so his controllability is effectively gone.
3 is starting to get.
Yeah, I would probably say 3, to be honest. It almost looks like he's trying to correct, but he's just not able to, you know?
He says the increase in tailwinds, it's like over.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, inversion, temperature inversions. Yeah, normally as air rises and expands in the atmosphere, the temperature decreases. Obviously, that's typical. But you know, sometimes it might be, you know, so and so degrees Celsius here on the ground. We climb up to 4,000, it's actually warmer. That would just be a temperature inversion. And yeah, inversion layers are commonly shallow layers of smooth, stable air, right? And that stable air is what essentially creates that kind of lid, holding it all in there. And yeah, you know, air at the top of the layer acts as a lid, keeping weather and pollutants trapped below. If the relative humidity of the air is high, it can contribute to the formation of clouds, fog, haze, or smoke, resulting in diminished visibility. Obviously, relative humidity is essentially, you know, the amount of water vapor in a body of air, essentially. So, you know, relative humidity, especially, obviously, the more humid, the less dense the air becomes, essentially. More humid, you're more susceptible, you know, technically to icing, etc., etc. Fog, you know, we're a big, we are heavily affected by fog, especially where we live. I've never, I don't, I refuse to believe there's many parts of in the world, places in the world that can go from low IFR and then within an hour turn to VFR. Like that's pretty uncommon. But yeah, there's different types of fog. You know, like radiation fog would typically form on cool, calm, clear nights. You know, places like little valleys where the air temperatures decrease and it's nice and calm, and you know, we got heats kind of radiating up from the surface at night. You know, like let's say that, you know, the rock formation's ever been in the sun all day, temperature starts cooling down, the ambient heat starts rising, um, creating this kind of radiation fog. Obviously, advection fog is, you know, commonly experienced around here. You know, slight wind is needed to really kind of create that formation. But if you have like a warm, moist air for mass moving over a colder surface, you know, just like your bathroom mirror, you know, it's going to condense and create that fog. And like I said, a slight little wind is needed, which is obviously on coastal regions, wind is pretty much guaranteed usually. Okay. Upslope fog, you know, needs some kind of uplifting kind of force. And I mean, it's just fog that basically forms on the mountainsides. Obviously, as it gets pushed up a slope, temperature decreases as you go higher up the slope. It's going to condense and create fog. Steam fog. All right, dry air moves over warm water, coming over bodies of water during coldest times of the year. You know, we don't typically get this around here. You'll get this in maybe like Michigan with the lakes there, Alaska. Ice fog, definitely don't get that. Extremely cold temperatures. Clouds. What type of clouds do you know of, Tyler? Do you know
Low
the
clouds,
distinction between?
clouds, high cloud, nimbo means rain, cumulus means like thunderstorms.
Not necessarily. Cumulus cloud is a cloud with, you know, has some kind of vertical development, right? So a harmless cumulus cloud would be something like, you know, just the kind of like the cartoon fluffy clouds. You know, obviously these are the types of clouds we're getting up at like 12,000 feet, you know, when they say scattered at 12,000, that's stratus formation usually. These kind of almost like ice crystals, these can be very high up. These are dangerous though, these are scary. Always typically formed over mountainous areas in strong winds. Someone once took a really good picture of one above like the Palm Springs mountain there. Nimbus cloud, all right, looking for that dark kind of color formation, showing all that kind of moisture, you know, all that kind of moisture in there, ready to just be like released. You know, fracto clouds, cumulonimbus, obviously, you know. I mean, but like your previous instructor, did he ever give you like any tips, or did he ever mention like, oh, stay so and so far away from cumulonimbus clouds?
Totally not. On the opposite side of it.
Yeah, so looking at this picture, what stage of the thunderstorm is this cloud in? What stage of its life cycle is this cumulonimbus in?
Probably the cumulus stage, like just starting.
Well, there's something I'm looking at there which signifies to me that it's not.
Looks like precipitation. Like,
Mature stage. Yeah, this now has kind of accumulated. Anvil top is formed. All right, now it's going to start essentially causing havoc while then slowly dissipating as more and more of this just starts getting precipitated out. Yeah, that's scary. That's very, very scary. No, it's not good news flying near there. Air masses, no DPE would ever ask you about this. Right, but for us, what we're in continental, yeah, no, like the maritime tropical kind of air mass, warm, moist. You know, where we are though, it's kind of warm, drier air. And yeah, you know, if we look at a prog chart, we see some of the fronts depicted, right? You know, a cold front is typically going to move like a snowplow, right? Cold air is typically more dense. You know, if it's more dense, it's going to be kind of hugging the ground more. Right, if we have that cold air system come in and all of a sudden, you know, it's acting like a snowplow, pushing all of this moist, warmer air up. As you push this warm, moist air up, right, because the temperatures decrease, it's going to start condensing, and that's when we get that really bad weather. Yeah, but we might not fly. The air mets, low level wind shear, low level wind shear.
It's along the coast.
Huh?
It's along the coast.
Really?
Just going,
Low level wind shear?
where you guys going?
I think Montgomery, but it's turbulence down south, air met. There's air mets everywhere.
Low level wind shear,
Yeah.
then.
Wait, low level wind shear what?
Like over Catalina.
Right off,
It extends into Santa Barbara, huh?
like right off the coast,
Bless you. Bless you.
active to the surface. It's kind of like not right on it. That's good.
I do. I'm telling him now that you're probably not gonna fly.
What are the winds?
What?
Moderate to severe turbulence.
Okay, yeah, let's just check the air mats out, yeah. How long is an air mat valid for, JP?
6 minutes.
And your
6
winds are
minutes
fine.
4 hours.
What's a convective sigma?
What altitude?
What kind of surface winds would be depicted in a convective sigma? Yeah. 50 or greater. What kind of hail would be depicted in a convective sigma? Yeah, so there's like a specific size of hail that would constitute a sigma, a convective sigma, like 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, yeah. It's just scary, dude. I just know for a fact that he probably like looks at the Apple weather app and he was like,
Yeah, but yours is showing yours isn't showing
No.
the severe.
no. I mean, I can just.
So.
I'm not going to Santa Barbara. I am not messing with Santa Barbara.
What's the identifier really?
Well, we were planning on Montgomery, which is Mike Yankee Foxtrot.
Let's see the weather.
It's a lot short.
Yeah, I know, but it always like
It's always not accurate.
no, it's like even if it's slightly offshore, we're gonna get hit by it. Like I just
It's moderate to severe turbulence over Montgomery from surface.
a 737 reported severe, moderate to severe.
We'll be fine.
I mean, you might be able to make it, honestly.
Yeah, great. Yeah, yeah. That's another thing though. Like, do we need to do this flight right now? No.
It'd be nice though.
Do I want to do it if I might be able to make it? No.
No, it's paved. So.
Like, dude, it's